Hey, what's going on, everybody? Movie Fandom here, and of course, it's Saturday, and we're doing the Movie Fandom's horror review. Got a nice little double feature set up for you tonight. Both of these were requested from the 13th Wolfman. We have Dead Alive, followed up by Dog Soldiers. So, without any further ado, let's jump into this. Before we jump into this, I know I just said we're going to jump into it, but we're going to hold back for a second. Next week, Days of the fucking Dead. You know I'm gonna make Dead. The fucker's upstairs, son of a bitch. Literally, it's like, remember the scene in The Others when she like yells at the housekeeper, you know, like keep it down, quit running around there, and then it happens. She looks outside and you know she's the housekeeper. She knows there's someone else upstairs. That's what it's like up there. It's this fucking what's that kid's name? Oscar or something? Victor, young Victor, just running around upstairs right now, pissing me off. But no, so next week, Days of the Dead. So, we will not be having our regularly scheduled programs next week. So, you know, Friday's usually like, you know, our video response day or whatever. Today, or Saturday is, you know, double feature. And then, of course, Sunday is the Sunday Showdown. And we're going to just postpone them all. So, we'll just kind of gloss over them or whatever. And we'll pick them right back up the following week. So, that's it right there. So, for those of you who look forward to the double feature on Saturday, you're going to miss out next week. But, you know, hopefully we'll get some awesome footage from Days of the Dead, and we'll make up for it. So, let's jump right into this. From 1992, from a Mr. Peter Jackson, we have Dead Alive. Basic premise is, I believe the name of the monkey was the Simian Radicus, or something like that. Bites this one boy's or young man's mother. Don't want to call him a boy. You know, he's treated like a boy. He's a young man. Bites his mother, turns her into a zombie, and of course now he's trying to keep that a secret from everybody else. I saw this years ago, actually, and actually I didn't even know this is. I mean, it's clearly after I watched Lord of the Rings, but I didn't really make the connection that it was Peter Jackson or whatever, and really dug it because it was just really a goofy, you know, silly fucking splat-stick movie. But I didn't see it again. Like I just kind of, you know, whatever. And I watched it and moved on. Around the same time I watched Bad Taste. I watched them both around the same time. I get to see the other one. Fuck me. I get to see the other one. The Meet the Feebles, I think is what it was. I didn't see that one yet. But anyway, so I dug both movies. But I was pretty much it. Just, you know, watched them once and moved on. Eventually got around to getting Dead Alive. I still haven't, or not Dead Alive. Bad Taste, but I don't have Dead Alive yet. But found a copy of this, started watching it, and yeah, it was even better the second time I watched it. Like, I fucking loved it. I'm not gonna go through the story, you know, 'cause I mean, at this point, I'm sure everybody out there has seen this movie. But I will just go ahead and throw out the pros for you. I just love the humor in it, like just flat out. I mean, from the opening scene, when the old boy gets, you know, he gets bitten. And of course, they see the blood on his arm, so they go ahead and they lop off the arm. And he's like, oh no, and then it's on the other arm too, and they lop the other arm off. And then it's like, he has a scratch on his head, and they're like, oh shit, and then they bring it down again. I mean, it was just so fucking goofy, you know, and I don't know, I love that aspect of it. The one thing that I think, you know, the best part of it is a lawnmower. That's all you gotta say, it's fucking lawnmower. You already know what I'm talking about. Dude, great. It was weird, it's like, you know, I got little cousins who play, I don't know what zombie game it is. One of the many ones they have now for like the video games, but like I see him run around with the lawnmower, and I'm just like, hey, you know, just like Dead Alive, and he's like, what? And I'm like, are you fucking for real? Didn't get the reference, but dude, I fucking love that scene. You know, the story itself is really cool too. 'Cause, I mean, at least for me personally, I mean, I saw a lot from Psycho in it. Like the mother is definitely a Mrs. Bates type character, just domineering. And just complete control. And even though in Psycho, obviously, you know, she was dead. But this is like if Mrs. Bates was alive, you know. You clearly see that, you know, in the dude's mom right here. But no, I mean, other than that, I mean, I said, I don't know what to say. Because this is one of those movies, like, you know, it's so popular, so well known, that whatever I say now will just be retreading what everybody else has said. But I agree with them. Like, it's a hilarious. I love the fact that, I didn't catch it the first time, but I love the fact that, you know, they get the monkey from Skull Island. And Peter Jackson go on to direct King Kong. That's one I want to talk about real quick. And I know he's done some shit between, you know, his trilogy of splat-stick movies, you know, New Zealand, between this and Lord of the Rings. But, like, at what point are they like, you should get the guy who did, like, you know, Dead Alive to do the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Like, at what point did that happen? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm wrong, Frighteners is a great movie. And it does show it, he does have talent behind the camera. Doesn't have to rely on just gore and whatever. But at the same time, I don't know, I just kind of get the feeling like at any point if like New Line would have like, busted out the archives, like, wait a second. This is the guy did Bad Taste? Like, holy shit, we got a mega multi-million-dollar, trilogy, and we're filming back-to-back here over here, and oh shit, we get this guy, I just thought it was kind of odd. I mean, look at the Spider-Man trilogy, and you're like, the guy who did the Evil Dead trilogy also did the Spider-Man trilogy. I don't know, it just seems kind of odd to me, like, but whatever, I'm happy for him, glad he, he did break out mainstream or whatever. I think he needs to go back, for sure. Fuck Lovely Bones, just saying, right there. But no, Dead Alive, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it's a good, grotesque, bloody good time. You cannot take it seriously. And that's the thing, it's like I'm such a, I don't know, depending on what movie you catch me on, I can take it very seriously when you're not supposed to, or I can just realize you don't. And it's one of those movies that I feel like, I don't know, maybe if I would have caught it any airtime except for my younger years, I probably would have been like, why are they doing this or why are they doing that? But you just gotta let it go. It's a good fucking time. Like, I don't know, it's a bloody good time. That's all I can say. I don't know what to say about it. Really don't. Like, I literally am just lost for words. It's a brilliant movie. Check it out. Up next, now this is a movie I'd never seen before. This first time I watched it was last night, Dog Soldiers. And, heard a lot about it. Heard really good things about it. I knew it was directed by Neil Marshall, who did The Descent. I think he did Doomsday too. So I always wanted to see it. Like, I was always very curious about it. I knew ahead of time, I knew it was a werewolf movie or anything like that. So watched it last night and really got into it. Just instantly got into it. Like, I just loved. I mean, it does have this B movie quality, but I don't know. It's just the story itself. I mean, it's very basic. It's pretty much like they kind of take it like a Night of the Living Dead in a sense, where it's a group of soldiers who get trapped in a house. And then there are werewolves. Instead of zombies outside the house, there's werewolves outside the house trying to get in. But no, instantly, just like right off the bat, was digging it because it has the guy who plays Alfred on the Gotham TV series. He's in it, and I'm a big fan of his. It's just weird because I watched him in Gotham, never seen him before in my life before that. And then I watched like one of the Prophecy movies, and there he is. And I'm like, holy shit, it's that guy. And then I watched this movie, I'm like, holy shit, it's that guy again. It's like Sean Pertwee or I'm gonna call him Alfred. But yeah, no, I mean, he's a hell of an actor. I just really dug him in this movie. This movie is another movie that almost kind of has a hilarious kind of sense of humor about it. Like, I mean, there's a scene where he gets his guts, ripped out, and I just love the scene where like he's just like, oh no, my guts, and the guy's like, no, we're gonna put them back in. Don't worry, we're gonna get you out, And there's even a scene where during a werewolf attack on the house, that dude who's got his guts in his fucking hands. A dog runs over inside the house and like grabs a piece of his intestines and is like trying to pull him out. Dude, I don't know. It was just like, holy shit. I don't know. I thought it was funny shit. I really dug it. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it wasn't. It's 2002, so I'm gonna drop a little spoilers, I guess. The girl who brings him into the house, I just knew right off the bat this bitch was probably, werewolf, because it was just really obvious. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like they don't have to add something to it, So you already knew that they had another guy with them. Forget his fucking name. He was like the special ops guy who was attacked. So if you see enough werewolf movies, once you're attacked and survive, you will, if you're bitten or clawed, you will turn into a werewolf. So you knew he was going to turn. But I was just like, no. The way they just do random. I mean, I'm sure he did this on purpose. Like, there would just be certain angles or shots of her, just the way she would react to things. And you're like, well, yeah, she's a werewolf. Like, no doubt about it. And sure enough, she was. But no, if I had to do any cons, like it's any things that I didn't like, it seemed like a lot of the attack scenes, especially when they get to the house. I mean, before they get to the house, not really much going on. But when they get to the house, I felt like there's a lot of scenes of them just like shooting randomly. I mean, I felt like there was really no layout. At least I didn't think so. It just seems like it was just random scenes of guys shooting into nothing. Because clearly, they do show. Don't get me wrong. When I first watched it, I was like, well, they're not going to show the werewolf that much because it's very low budget. And that's not the case at all. Toward the end, you see him left and right. But early on, it was just like, shooting, and then they catch someone else like over here shooting. It's just like, there's really no, I don't know. I felt like you didn't know what was going on. It was just random shots of them shooting werewolves, or shooting at werewolves. But, no, as it picks up, it does. It gets more controlled, I guess you can say. More structured. And especially, like I said, the last bit of it where it's like we're down to like 3 guys, and they're all kind of split up in their own little thing. And dude, I mean, it's awesome. Like to me, this is the kind of, because I'm always saying like I hate action horror. Like I do. I fucking hate it. This didn't feel like action horror to me though, because it seems like in most action horror movies, like, you know, Resident Evil or Underworld or Blade or, you know, numerous other bullshit fucking movies, it's just ridiculous. Like, you know, you just never feel for a second like, you know, that the hero's gonna lose. Like, you just don't. Like, it just feels like, you know, they're an unstoppable and so they're just doing kung fu and shit. And in this one, there are certain scenes where, like, I think, you know, you can make the argument like that's kind of ridiculous, but it felt real to me. Like, when the one guy who's all about the soccer match, or football, sorry. You know, he's in there, the werewolf's in there, and dude, he just decides, he's like, yeah, I got no bullets left, fuck it, we're going to throw down, and he just starts coming at him, you know, ducking every time he swipes at him, and dude, like, you can make the argument, but once again, but you never think, like, oh, he's safe. No, I mean, dude, he is throwing caution to the wind. He's fucking Julius on top of a skyscraper fighting Jason Voorhees. I mean, I just dug that scene, I really did, and the fact that, like, I knew his days were numbered, but still, yeah, you're kind of rooting for him. Like, you're just kind of like, oh, man, come on, you know, he's the underdog. Yeah, I mean, I loved, and like I said, it's such, I mean, the screen time for some of these characters is pretty short, really, but I almost like The Descent, how, you know, you got a group of characters, and even though we don't know them that long, like, literally, there's maybe one scene where it's kind of like a character development scene where they're just kind of talking around a campfire or whatnot. It's like you get to know these guys. Like, I mean, you feel like you get to know them. Like, it just, I don't know, it clicked. And it just, I felt like this was a group of guys you actually care about. Like, you would like to see each of them make it to the end. And that's rare in movies like this because, you know, typically, you know, if you read this on paper, you know, soldiers, you know, a platoon of soldiers go after, you know, werewolves or whatever, you're attacked by werewolves. You're just like, well, straight up creature feature and, you know, one guy will probably make it out. Whereas here, it's like, yeah, that's what it is, but you're like, no, you kind of want each of them to make, like, they're all kind of likable in their own way. Even though, you know, they're all kind of got their own little stereotypes, they kind of, you know, they're likable. Just like The Descent. He did the same thing with The Descent with all the female cave dwellers, or the cave divers. Spelunkers, god damn it. Anyways, but no, they all each had their own personality. They didn't seem two-dimensional, even though they didn't really have a lot to say. Like, you know, they didn't really dwell on each character, but you did feel like they were fully fleshed out, and I felt the same thing about this one. I mean, I really did. So yeah, I don't know. If you haven't seen either one of these, I mean, this is really a good double feature. I wish I could speak more about it. I feel like, you know, people have already seen both these movies. Like, I feel like with Dog Soldiers especially, I just haven't seen it, and this actually felt like one of the movies that I should have already seen. Like, I was just like, I definitely should have seen this, and I was a little afraid, like, maybe there was too much hype. Like, it happens a lot. Like, there'll be a movie that, you know, I haven't seen ever. Like, it's considered a horror classic or whatever, and I'm like, well, I haven't seen it. I should see it. And then I watch it after hearing the hype, and I'm just like, I didn't care for it. I don't know, everybody's big deal, you know. No, not the case with this one. This was literally, this lived up to the hype. I dug it. Like I say, it definitely has the B-movie quality to it, but I dug it. Like, to me, this is done better than most of the action horror movies out there, and this is done better. This is actually one of the better werewolf movies out there, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. I haven't done the official Phantom, you know, werewolf list, you know, ranking yet, but I would say probably in the top 5, easily. Definitely not going to be a top 2, but I can see it being top 5, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I highly dug it. Think you can check it out. So yeah, Dead Alive, thumbs up. Dog Soldiers, thumbs up. Thank you, 13th Wolfman. Because once again, I like Dead Alive. I just had no desire to see it again, I guess. I mean, I thought it was a good movie. I'm like, all right, I'm done with it. And I just kind of, you know, cast it aside. So after rewatching it, I'm really glad I did. Like, I'm like, all right, I forgot how good the movie was. So yeah, really fun double feature this week. So check them out, guys. Hey, I'm the Movie Phantom.